Hey, it's Sean.
Hey, it's Bree.
And this is I Can Explain,
the podcast where we answer the questions you are too afraid to ask.
And this week's topic is secrets.
Yeah. Secrets and confessions.
Secrets and confessions. We'll see if we have any secrets and confessions. You could finally confess your love for me in this episode.
That was the plan.
That was...
Big surprises.
I think it goes without saying there. Yeah, we are going to be reacting to other people's secrets.
Yeah.
Maybe throwing in some of our own.
Hopefully.
For feeling spicy.
Hopefully they're LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, and not just...
I don't want straight
murder
secrets.
confessions. Could you imagine? We're like, send in your queer secrets. And they're like, I once killed a man.
We're like, we're in too deep.
Yeah, we're like, oh, that's great.
Another light episode of I Can Explain. Oh my God. Okay, someone commented that my mic, that I
you
hold
do
it weird.
hold it real janky.
What's wrong with this?
This is like literally watching you use a microphone.
Okay, well, it takes me back to when I was in school and my teacher used to try and train me with one of those little erasers on pencils to hold my pencil properly.
Okay.
Because I don't.
Yeah.
And I actually have like a little bump on my finger because of it. Do you see my little bump? Why am I shaking?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Does this make you uncomfortable?
This makes me uncomfortable.
What about this?
See, I do the 2 under, the 2 over.
Yeah, I don't like that.
For those just listening, you have no clue what we're talking about, but there's a way that you can, and you can go watch us on YouTube now. We put all of the episodes on YouTube. If you are a patron, you get the video every single Monday. Anyone else gets it Fridays.
You're getting better.
I'm getting better.
You're definitely getting better.
And did you see that smooth transition into that?
That was a good transition.
Into that plug?
You're like, me not being able to hold a microphone? That reminds me.
Bet you wish you could see it. All right. So if you want to see how I hold a microphone, very exciting stuff over here, you can go to @I Can Explain Podcast on Instagram. Click the link in the bio. Our Patreon is there. Become a Patreon. There's the Discord. There's videos every Monday. Extra episodes. We actually, our friends over at We're Having Gay Sex, a podcast hosted by my friend Ash Gavs, they had a special episode that is going to be exclusive for their patrons and our patrons. We had a little collab.
Confirmed.
So that's going up for our patrons only, a full hour episode of that, and good times. Anyways, are you
whole phone in the most uncomfortable ways throughout this whole thing now?
The thing is, had you not pointed that out, I wouldn't have noticed.
No, you're like, that's a normal man holding a normal microphone.
It's because I just sit so weird and move so weird that
True.
I
like
wouldn't
this,
notice.
it feels sturdy. I could like just in case.
Just in case you ever need to clonk me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I have a few things to say.
Okay. You didn't shout at our trusty patrons though.
Oh, Christ.
God.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, please go rate us 5 stars only. Jesus Christ.
That was a good transition.
Wherever you're
While
listening,
you're at it.
Please, God, go rate us 5 stars only. Also, merch is linked in our bio. And also, we are blowing up on TikTok, folks. We have just hit 500 followers at I Can Explain Podcast on TikTok.
Things are moving quickly. The ball is honestly getting away from us.
The fame is
it's hot.
It's overwhelming,
Yeah.
to say the least.
I'm getting like recognized on the street.
Yeah.
I think I might have to get security.
I think you should. I've had mine for years.
Yeah.
And it comes in handy quite often.
Good. I might get a reference.
I have my security to keep me away from other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So a huge shout out to all of our patrons and an extra special shout out to Aiden, Emily, Kate, Olivia, Liz, Serena. Thank you so much for supporting our podcast. Thank you. Okay. Housekeeping.
Oh no.
Off of the top. 1, I'm on my period.
Okay. That seems like we're going to do housekeeping, not me.
This is important to note.
Okay.
Because my period... my period is... I don't want to say the worst period that anyone's ever had.
But top 10 period.
It's top 10 periods in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. My pants look like the end of a UFC fight. every time I pull them down.
That's too straight of a reference.
It's just, okay. My pants look like a drag Halloween special show.
Okay. A Dragula episode.
Yes. Yeah, every time I pull them down.
Like that scene in The Shining when the elevator doors open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's you taking your Diva Cup out.
No, but that's not me taking my Diva Cup out. I've got the Diva Cup in. I've got extra barriers happening as well.
2 Diva Cups.
I have like 6 Diva Cups.
Just stacking them in case the one up higher spills over. It's like one of those champagne fountains.
And it's still coming out my ears. Okay, so I don't have to do anymore.
And I'm still sitting on a towel.
No, actually, every time I stand up, like when I stand up at the end of this episode, I check.
Oh, my light couch is going to love this.
Dry cleaning. I just leave, a trail everywhere I go. It changes my life.
Okay.
I find that for people that get periods, you're gonna get me on this, especially if you get bad ones.
Not top 10 bad, I would assume, because that's what are the chances?
What are
our
the
listeners
chances?
are the other 9?
Yeah.
But
I might be top 3. Like, it's bad, and also it's like the cramps are crippling. My back, I can't even, like, my legs cramp up. I can't move.
It sounds awful.
It's terrible. And it takes like, I will be so productive, and then it just takes like a week out of my life every month.
Doesn't that suck that you have to do that every month?
Yes.
Until you're like, what, 55, something around there?
Yeah, and then you get menopause.
Yeah,
and
which also sucks.
Too. It's just terrible all around.
So like, what if there was no more blood, but you were on fire? Interesting trade.
So yeah, that's where I'm at this week. And the reason I say that is because I do feel like some people, when they get their periods, can just kind of still move through life. Like, it's irritating, but like I'm out of commission. Okay.
Debilitating.
It's the last 3 days. Where have they gone? I'm just constantly in agony, and I don't know what to do about it anymore.
You're so strong.
Thank you. See, that's what I needed.
That's what I'm here for.
My girlfriend's only told me that like 3,000 times, and I'm like, you don't even care about how much pain I'm in. I'm so fun to live with.
Does your housekeeping note have any more?
Oh yeah, I do actually have something important to say.
I was like, so you're on your period?
Yeah, no, that wasn't actually anything.
Right.
I just felt like I needed to get that out.
Because I'm like, we're like 200 episodes in. I'm sure you've been on your period before.
Episode 154, Bree's period.
Bree's period.
Yeah.
Another cult classic with Bree's birthday.
Oh my God. Actually, we should do that because I have a lot more to say.
Check the sketch.
Comment below if you want Bree's period next week.
Great. Okay. I love having a podcast with you.
Anyways, I don't even know if I should talk about this.
You can't. I have a housekeeping note and then not housekeep.
I wasn't going to talk about.
You can't start the vacuum and not do the floors,
That's true. I wasn't going to talk about this because I needed my emotional embarrassment trauma to be over with this saga, but I feel like it's only fair that we're asking people to share their confessions,
their secrets
that are potentially embarrassing, for me to just carry on with the embarrassment train, and then I'm never talking about this again. Okay. So if you listened to the Friends episode, oh my God.
I'm excited.
No, it's not even like a big deal. It's just like, it's horrifying. I need to start this by saying that I am under the impression that no one I know listens to this podcast.
Right.
And I know I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because like every once in a while, a friend will be like, oh, I listened. And when you said this on the podcast, and I'm like, oh, right. Oh, you listen. But like in Vancouver, I don't know if you feel the same way. Do you think anyone we know listens to this?
Not a single person.
That's how I
feel. But I also think even broader than that, I forget that a single person listens.
I know. It's really hard to wrap your head around sometimes because it's just us sitting here. So it's like this weird thing where it's like, I'm aware people listen, but it kind of feels like far off, which is why we like, honestly, the Discord, because it makes it feel like real and tangible that like people are out there that we get to connect with. And it's just this weird mental gap. If you've created anything online and you know what I'm talking about, you see the numbers, but it's like hard to mentally be like, those are people. And especially when it comes to people in Vancouver. Like, I know a few of my good friends listen. My mom listens.
Right.
So I know that. But when it comes to people like that I was talking about in the Friends episode, or just people in general, I need your support through this.
I am so excited.
People in general, I just assume nobody has ever listened to a word of this podcast. Because why? Like,
right. You assume that no one in Vancouver listens to this podcast, let alone potentially the exact person you were talking about. Is that where this is going?
So I think everyone thought I was being really brave, because they were like, oh wow, someone's gonna find out, like that person's gonna know. Yeah. Right. And like, I kind of jokingly was like, oh yeah, that person's gonna know. But like, in a million years, I did not think anyone would ever find out. Anyone on my friendship
including
goal list.
After you posted a story about it?
Yeah, including then. I honestly just thought, because like, I'm going to be honest, people have busy lives, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much content out there to consume. I'm like, who's going to, it was right in the middle of the episode. I'm like, who's going to tune in and sit down and listen to that to try and figure out who the hell I was talking about?
Right.
Okay. So right before I got here today, on the way here, it wasn't the person directly, but it was like one of their really close friends. And they commented back to my story about it, wink face. Like a little wink.
Haunting. Why they gotta be so ominous?
So, and this is my problem. Like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
They want I think.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's, I think, the only way.
Which, to be fair, I mean, no. That's so much worse than a direct call out.
Right.
Because I'm like, wink face.
What if they think it's about them?
What if they think it's about that?
What if there's like 40 people in Vancouver
think it's about
that
them?
think it's about them?
But then I thought, that did cross my mind, but I thought about it. I'm like, I read the message. So like, no one would know unless they had that message conversation with me. So I was like, they must have listened, and then potentially like, or someone must listen, or maybe they just happened to respond to the one story out of my millions of stories every week blabbing about nothing and said a wink face.
Yeah, but no response from the actual person.
No.
So they hate you. There's no way around this.
They're like, I now know it's me, and I now know that she knows that I don't want to hang out.
Yeah, and my friend's gonna wink because that was embarrassing. Wink.
We know, and yes, you are correct. No, thank you.
We see your messages and raise you a block.
So there's layers.
Yeah.
There's layers now.
This is like Law and Order SVU. We're going to do some.
So I saw that message. I was like, what do I respond? Do I play it cool? Do I be like, do you know who I was talking about? Did you listen? Like, what do you say to that?
My go-to response to basically anything that I don't know is just the woman with her head in her palm. You know?
No.
So applicable all the time.
Like, it's just like,
it's like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that would have been good, an emoji.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say that.
Okay. So is that your only housekeeping now?
Yeah.
Your period, and you still have no friends.
Mm-hmm. Not only do I not have any friends, but now like friends that I potentially wanted to be friends with, I know
now you're
are laughing at the fact that I wanted to be.
Now you're canceling out the friend group as well.
That really, the Vancouver queer scene is done.
The whole queer scene is sending you a big wink face.
Special announcement: I am moving
and straight. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have a housekeeping note.
Okay.
It exactly ties into what is happening right now. I was reading one of the YouTube comments that literally made me pee my pants because they said and this is no shade to this person because they are right. They just said nothing else in the message. Content starts at 10 minutes. And I was like, first of all, absolutely, you read us. Second of all, you must be new here. This is the content. Like, it's not like the content is starting. The content never starts. It doesn't stop. It doesn't start. There's no highs. There's no lows.
Like, maybe at 10 minutes we said one articulate thought, so they thought it started.
Or we get into the topic at 10 minutes. This is like 15 minutes.
They follow up afterwards. They're like, and then stops at 12.
and then briefly picks up at 15:27, but at 15:28 we lose them again.
For good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're totally new here.
Yeah, I did love that because they're right.
They're right.
But I was like, you're gonna hate this podcast.
YouTube listeners, sorry, I have something in my eye.
Oh,
What?
I passed the torch to you.
What the f*** are you talking about? Do you
I've been
have things in your eye?
I've been fixing my eye holes
All day.
every past few episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks. YouTube watchers are savage. Even when I post regular YouTube videos, I'll be like, today we're going to talk about like my coming out story and tips for coming out. So I will like start it with like a 5-minute tale of like a really vulnerable story. And then like at 6 minutes, I'll give like a couple tips to come out and then I'll wrap up the video. And like 8 of the comments will be like, she starts talking about the important stuff at 6 minutes. Just like, you're welcome for sharing. People are savage on YouTube.
I kind of like it though.
I like it too. You know, the time stampers,
Yeah.
I think they call themselves. I don't know if they call themselves that, but I've decided that
that
think
is their little squad.
Yeah, they're the time stampers on YouTube where they go and they figure out what's important. They let the people know.
Well, have fun finding out what's important in this one, bitch.
I would love to try and see timestamps for this podcast. You know, most
You know when they
podcasts
do the
you can-
chapters?
Yes.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
Good luck.
We should get an intern for a day and give them that task.
Just as a gag.
Yeah, with no intention
Yeah.
of actually having chapters
Yeah.
and just see what they come up with.
Can you sort this podcast just so our listeners know what they're
Can you sort this into the like pretty clear sections?
You'll know the segments. When you listen,
Segment
you'll
1,
know.
Diva Cup Champagne Fountain. Segment 2, Breanne Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that you could just segment the whole thing as Breanne Friends. You know?
You could call the podcast for no friends. I can't go out ever again in Vancouver.
No, you should definitely move.
I'm toast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So should we
been
should
fun.
we start some content?
Yeah. Okay. So for the time stampers out there, we're at 17:20.
Yeah.
We're gonna kick this off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, are we?
Let me get my.
You always
phone
stress
out.
me out.
I always stress you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you're the one that does the phoning most of the time. But you're never
I'm never prepared.
No. So the thing is, we do a podcast together and
Right.
you're never prepared. It is nice to see you though, because you have been viciously hungover when we were supposed to record. So
Okay, I need to correct you on
Apologize.
that. No,
Oh.
I need to correct you because usually I take accountability.
Okay.
What happened was actually I was viciously hungover on Sunday. I forgot we were supposed to record.
Oh, sorry.
Then
we can talk about the two
Monday,
times.
you said that you couldn't anymore on Monday, which is our designated day. So you changed those plans. So then I last minute rechanged to Tuesday. And then I was surprised with
That I was still
Canucks game
hungover.
tickets. No, with Canucks game tickets on Tuesday.
But we
So I
weren't supposed to
couldn't-
do Monday because we were supposed to do Sunday. Anyways, I think you really...
I think we should fight.
we are fighting. I think you should go to rehab. It's starting to affect the podcast, Brie. It's just out of control. This is your intervention.
Thank you. I will
Not do that.
not be doing that, but I will try my best to find these confessions. Okay. I found them. Are you excited?
Yeah, content starts at 19 minutes.
Oh yeah, sorry. Time stampers, you gotta adjust. Oh, this one's interesting to me.
Okay.
I've come out as gay, but I only watch straight porn.
That is interesting.
That to me, like that's a good confession, I feel. Or like
That is a good confession.
I can see why people would kind
Yeah.
of feel secretive about that because they feel like maybe I think especially this person, I can see in their bio that they identify as a woman. And or at least sorry, I should correct myself.
There's a fruit fly. Sorry.
It's coming for your stinky ass.
Yeah.
I should correct myself.
They heard us say that we don't have guests.
We're in.
First guest. Hi. What do you have to say?
Hey, idiot.
What do you have to offer us?
I'm waiting for the follow-up on that one too. So many follow-ups.
Yeah.
A couple episodes. Jeez.
All
I've really
relating to us
waiting.
never being able to go out again.
Yeah, I'm not going out to Vancouver ever again. Oh, your little thing. I gotta think. Okay, content starting at 20 minutes. I can see, I gotta correct myself. I said I can see that it identifies woman. I can't see that. I can see that their pronouns are she, her. So
Okay.
I should not assume. But their pronouns are she, her. And I will speak for myself because I don't know that this person identifies as a woman. That as a woman who came out, I feel as though, and we've talked about this before, same goes for like making out with people or whatever.
Yeah.
When a guy makes out with another guy, basically people are going to forever stamp that guy as being gay.
Yeah.
Even if he's bi, even if he was just having fun, even if he's just experimenting, if he's pan, whatever.
Got dared by his friends.
Yeah,
Too bad you're gay now.
You're gay.
Yeah.
Whereas like with
That's actually how it happened for me.
lucky.
Those dares, they really get you.
They really do.
They
Spin the
really
bottle.
last.
And then for women, or at least in my experience, like I've talked about on this podcast before, where I would like hook up with women all the time and no one would assume that I was gay.
Yeah.
So it's like you're almost like swimming upstream, whereas like when you're a gay man and
It's
you
a
do
water
anything
slide.
gay, yeah, it's a fucking water slide. Absolutely.
Into the gay pool at the bottom.
So I get this person, especially if they're femme presenting and their pronouns are she, her. I can see how they would maybe feel differently than a gay man would, that if you watched straight porn, I don't think everyone would get on you and be like, oh, that means you're not valid as a gay
Right.
man. Like you're obviously gay and then you just like happen to whatever. What?
Oh, you're just hate criming me? You're obviously gay. Jesus, Brie.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously. You're gay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if this person is saying that there's any question about that though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying like this was supposed to be like something you wouldn't tell people.
Oh,
confession.
right.
So I feel like again, speaking for myself, like I've watched straight porn.
Yeah.
And I can see if I told certain people them questioning whether or not that meant I was a lesbian. If I enjoyed watching like men engage in sex.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're like, this video must invalidate my entire identity.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't make sense,
No, I'm
but you can
saying-
see
yeah, no.
how the person...
I was inflating it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can see like unfortunately how sometimes that's a perception. Like I've heard it in just even smaller ways with I've heard passing comments from people outside of the community that are like, oh, I don't get why lesbians use strap-ons because if you're not into guys, then why the hell
Why
would
are
you do
you-
that? Which is just, we don't have enough time to get past that it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the
If that's
guy
a question
itself.
that
It's
you
a
have,
biology thing.
I don't have the brain power
I don't, yeah.
to not punch you.
It's like I will be
I
punching.
will be punching
Yeah.
you in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
But like if people can go that far with things like that, even where like no man is involved, it's like an inanimate object
Right.
involved, then I can see how if you were like, I don't watch gay porn, I watch quote unquote straight porn.
Yeah.
Then people are going to think, well, if that's what you're interested in sexually, then that must mean that you are not gay.
yeah, I also think that porn is so detached from reality in so many ways.
Yes.
That it almost doesn't really matter what you're watching half the time.
I know. Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be holes and there's gonna be stuff in them, probably, most likely. That's like 90% of the videos.
Mr. YouTube's
Holes and
coming
things
for me
in
on this
them.
one for sure. Mr. YouTube's
And, like,
trotting
you-
over here right now.
Yeah.
Shutting this operation down.
Mr. YouTube, come at me. So you've watched straight porn?
Yeah.
So you're straight?
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched straight porn.
Yeah,
I don't think that I'm fruity as ever.
Well,
Oh,
it was like, bye.
yeah.
Why can I never find this fucking thing? I swear to
Oh
God.
my God.
Yeah. So
Sometimes you're just like in the mood for it though, you know?
yeah, I just think that like people, I'm not saying this about this person that they are overthinking it. I get why they maybe are overthinking that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm putting a lot on them because it's just a simple sentence.
Totally. But I also just think there's so many interesting thoughts around it. Like people watch some weird porn. Like people watch like cartoon porn. Like is that saying that they're just into like two-dimensional beings? Like, you know, I think
no, totally.
You can't really read into it that much.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Sometimes the heart wants what it wants.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
I feel like we should almost do a whole episode on this because I think it's actually interesting.
On porn?
Yeah.
We do have a porn episode.
Oh. Well, go look back for that one.
We didn't talk about this though, I don't think.
See, this is fascinating.
Yeah.
We just missed the mark.
Yeah.
As usual. Okay. Oh, we're not allowed to talk bad about ourselves anymore. People were very upset with us.
We're not allowed to be
in
like
the DMs.
self-defecating, as you always say.
We're not allowed to defecate ourselves.
If we can't defecate ourselves, there's no podcast. There's just simply no podcast.
People were in our DMs being like, you guys always say how bad the podcast is. And like, we love it. So like, stop saying that. So I get
Here's
that.
the thing.
It is bad though. I mean,
I'm
it's
not
good.
that.
It's good bad.
It's
you know?
good bad. It's good bad. Like the Real Housewives is good bad.
Exactly. That's what we're getting
I'm not
at.
saying it in a.
It's entertaining.
I'm not mad. It's bad.
No, it's
I like
entertaining.
that it's bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We'd like it to be worse.
We actively make it worse.
Yeah. Striving for perfection.
Yeah, absolutely.
The worst podcast.
We're
ever.
gonna get like a Razzie.
Oh my God, that'd be
good.
That would be chic.
Yeah,
I'd love that. Okay. For the time stampers, confession number 2 is coming in at 26 minutes here. I'm 29 and I've never kissed anyone.
That's fine. I mean, we're not supposed to be giving advice, I guess, are we?
But are we allowed to judge them? Because I'm not. I didn't mean it like that.
But permission to judge, please.
I didn't mean like that. I was just like, are we allowed to respond? Like, are we allowed to like? Okay, so as a reaction, that is shocking to me.
Right. I don't think. Yeah. I kind of get it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're someone who's going to get it more than I will get it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very different type of person.
Yeah. I'm not like an incredibly intimate person at all.
Yeah.
In any way.
Yeah.
So I get that. And I think that there are more people that aren't incredibly intimate people than the media and the like population gives off.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
I personally know, and this might just be because I know a lot of people with depression, but I personally know a lot of people that are not intimate people.
Right.
And that's not how they express themselves. That's not, and they have partners. Yeah. That's not how they, go through life.
Yeah.
So I just think that especially queer people are so over sexualized all the time.
Yep.
That it seems more shocking than it should be.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I think that's like, I think you made a good point with it being in the media. Like, I think that a lot of love stories that we see portrayed, it's like that big moment of the kiss and it's the big moment of like them
There's
having
like fireworks
sex, and it's like this whole thing. And
yeah.
it's like, that's the stamp where it moves from like friendship to not friendship. And it's always put on this like physical
True
expectation.
love's first kiss.
Yeah.
Like, F you, Disney. You don't know shit about me.
Yeah. It's always this like physical moment that makes it mean something more, opposed to like, I think as adults, everyone's aware that physical components of relationships are not what make you aware that you're not just friends.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, that's fun for some people and they enjoy it for some people. And for some people, that's the way that they express that love, but it's not like what makes that love.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I also think for this person, they're probably, and again, I'm just going to keep putting shit on people because they're giving me simple sentences and I'm going to make them mean something that it doesn't. They're probably putting a lot of pressure on themselves.
Right.
Because I think at any age, you always think you're like too old to have not done certain things. Like, I remember being like 15 or whatever I was and being like, oh my God, I haven't kissed anyone. Like, I'm ancient and I haven't kissed anyone. Like, you always think that about yourself. And I think that it becomes this big like hurdle in your mind. Like, oh, but now if I do that, then like,
am I going to be bad
am
at
I going to
it?
be bad? Like there's all these things that come with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's easy to say, just put that out of your head. But I'm like, as adults, do people actually like care? Like, I think the biggest advice I could give someone that did want to kiss someone after not having kissed someone in their life before, it would be to just like be simple and like slow about it. Because like my mistake, which I talked about a few episodes ago, I tried to do too much.
You did a fucking double back handspring into that person's mouth.
Absolutely. Tongue first.
Honestly, as long as you're happy with where you are in life, you're not behind, you're not anything.
Totally.
Age is just a number. Also, like the amount of people that are worth kissing in this world, very small. So
I would kiss a lot of people.
don't try to kiss me. It's gonna be weird.
I won't make it weird. Well, I've already made it weird, but
Yeah.
I'll try and reel it in. Okay. Okay. I knew I was gay when I got pregnant with my second baby. I came out and divorced while pregnant. So I guess they knew before they got pregnant.
Yeah.
So that's like that's like, whoa, that's a lot to handle as a person.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure to put on yourself.
There's a lot of stages to get through too.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that is something that people underestimate. Like when you're younger, people think it's much harder to come out because you're relying on your parents for certain things, for housing, for monetary things. And that's all very true. But I think that people also forget that when you're older and you have certain established long-term things, especially when you're living a heteronormative lifestyle, it's like you've built that wall higher and higher as you've grown up, just because part of being an adult is making committed decisions, whether that be your career, where you live, or who you live with, or who you're dating. So I empathize with that person because I feel like it would not, first of all, I empathize with them because I feel like that would be once you got to that point, I don't know if I would be strong enough to come out at that point, because you have so much. It's like, I remember feeling at 18, like, it's just going to be easier if I don't come out.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what the person would think when they were in a committed relationship, pregnant with their second kid, married, all these other things.
That's like, also like quite the flip of the script.
Yeah.
From you talking about when you're younger that you're depending on your parents. Now it's like, oh, I have, or am
People
about to
depending on
have a child that depends on me. Mm-hmm. That is wild. But
you have to be like the most brave person ever. So to this person, congratulations, genuinely.
Yeah, and I would assume that they're very happy with their decision, and that's awesome.
Yeah, but like, I think until you're in that situation, you couldn't fathom how hard that would be.
Oh God, I think I can picture it.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picture me pregnant. Yeah, it's definitely making sense. No, that's I mean, you got to put your own happiness first, and I think that's what they did.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the next one. That Sean Lusk is secretly in love with Bree.
I don't think it's a secret.
Yeah.
Not like love.
But you love me.
Yeah.
I love you
all
too.
my friends.
Ew. Why'd you have to do that?
Oh, sorry. But you the most.
Like, why did you have to take that away from me? I was so excited. I said, I love you too. And then you were like, I love all my friends. You just made it like a nothing thing to you.
But I love you the most.
Do you tell the LA lesbians that you love them?
Oh, not this shit again. No,
Do
I don't.
you? Okay. Well, then it's not all of your friends, is it?
No. I only probably love like 5 of my friends.
Okay, name the 5, and then the rest will know that you don't
I'm like,
love
bleep
them.
this.
I'm just saying that was insensitive because I thought it was important.
I'm sorry for disregarding your feelings in that way. I will say though, I do love you, but I think everybody should know that there's no secret here. I'm not going to have a podcast with somebody that I don't love for 100 bajillion episodes.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people assume because I rag on you for being an ancient 5'1" woman that I don't love you, but that's how I express my love. And I think that I'm like a good friend.
Yes.
But I'm a bitch.
But you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I did a personal Q&A on my story, and about half of the questions were, how tall are you and how old are you? And I literally was like, someone literally messaged me and was like, how many people are asking you about your age and how tall you are? And I'm like, the fact that half of the questions are about this, because every time we do the podcast, you slander me.
Speak facts.
I'm 29, turning 30 very shortly, and I am 5'7".
It's so brave of you to have goals. Too bad that's not actually how age works.
Okay. And you know what the worst part is? I answered that on my story, and I didn't get a single response from people being like, wow, I thought you were younger, or like anything like that. Everyone was like, wow, you're only 29? On the podcast, I thought you were older.
You are 47. The best part is,
like, you've literally aged me publicly.
I've gaslit like thousands of people at this point.
The amount of people that maybe tuned in for like an episode or two, and now if like in their brain when they think of me, they're like, oh yeah, she's 57.
No, it's like my finest work. It's my finest work. I also love that we took that photo together at Pride, and you fully
look so tiny?
fully look 5'1" beside me.
It's because you're wearing heels.
Well, I'm wearing platforms, but I'm also really tall.
Yeah, you're tall.
And
then
it's so comical because you look fully a foot shorter than me. Because you are.
I literally can't handle you. Someone just said I'm gay, which I appreciate. Because
that's what I was going to say.
What?
Oh, side note.
Yeah,
Isn't it funny that we're asking queer people for their secrets when for a lot of people being queer is the secret?
Their secret. That's so true.
And I just think it's like interesting, and sometimes I have to kind of reel myself back in that we're asking that. But for me, it's because there is none of that secrecy behind my sexuality now.
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Like, we've gotten to the point where
that my secret is murder. You know,
Sean, you were supposed to keep it anonymous.
Oh shit! Oh my god. Sean Lusk wrote in.
No, I agree, because I think that makes me, first of all, it checks me to remember that I'm so lucky where I'm at in my life, that I get to be like out and proud and have a podcast about being queer. And we've talked about before that we are aware that not everyone gets to do that, or live in a place that everyone gets to do that, or have a family that allows for that. And we're very lucky.
Yeah.
It also makes me really, really happy almost every once in a while, if I'm allowed to say that I forget about that part of queerness. Because there was a time in my life, and maybe this is hopeful for some people listening, there was a time in my life where I genuinely thought that that was going to be just devastating to me throughout my entire lifetime.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, I never thought that there would be a day where I didn't like have to carry the burden of hiding that I was queer.
For sure. And the shame that went with it.
Yeah.
And to now be at the point in our lives that we're like, tell us your stupid little secrets.
And we're like, oh, right. A lot of people have that.
And in my mind, I know this person is probably just making a joke. I'm picturing this as like a 16-year-old just writing in.
I love
like
that.
Their first time saying it. This person's probably like your age.
We're like, oh my God, we're the first person that they've come out to. If so, we see you. Congratulations. Welcome.
And you will get far more mysterious secrets soon.
Can I say also, I think we should just do a part 2 of this because we have so many good ones.
Yeah.
So
and
next
content
week,
only started at 23. So.
But I want to add on to this. Coming out, we've talked about so many times in so many different facets.
Yeah.
But I think something interesting that we haven't touched a lot on is that coming out in really tiny, teeny tiny, small ways too is like a big part of the stepping stone for a lot of people. Like, I've talked about my Tumblr, but even like, I remember, you know, on Tumblr writing in anonymously to people and being like, as a lesbian, I feel this way.
Yeah.
And I knew they wouldn't know who it was. And this was never anyone that I was going to ever talk to, but just typing that out and writing it and sending it felt like huge.
Oh yeah.
And there was those little moments where I would like play a character on a video game or a computer game and pretend that I was gay, and it was like anonymous, and it just like, it helped me in my process to accepting that I was a lesbian and being prepared for bigger conversations that could impact my life when it came to family and friends.
Oh, for sure.
So don't think you have to have like the first conversation you have to have is some big moment conversation. I actually my advice would be that you start small and kind of like tell little people here and there that are like not gonna completely impact your life.
Yeah.
If they don't agree with it or if they react poorly. And it also kind of prepares you for the reactions in a way.
Yep.
Like, I think a fucking 1,000 episodes ago, I talked about how I did that like summer job when I was younger. And I talked about how I did that summer job when I was younger, like selling candles.
Yeah.
And the girl was here from Alberta working with me for like 2 weeks.
Oh, we remember Candle Girl.
Yeah. And I talked to her like so openly. And in her mind, she probably thought, oh, this girl's out.
Yeah.
Everyone knows she's gay. And I was like, I was living a second life. I'm like, little does she know, no one except for me and the girl I'm dating know I'm gay.
Yeah.
And that was just so empowering for me. I was like, oh my God, I have this opportunity to be myself with this person. It felt so good. And I was like, this person was like chill about it. I had a really great interaction experience with them. I showed them pictures of my girlfriend. They were like excited for me. And that gave me so much confidence to be like, I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked about this. Obviously, we've talked about coming out 1,000 times on this queer podcast.
Yeah.
This also reminds me of a story about my coming out, which I will put in the housekeeping notes of part 2.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh.
This has been a great episode.
I think that once again, the media, man.
Oh. Why I don't with those media people.
I think
we have to have a boo button for whenever we bring out the media.
Yeah.
I don't even know really who we're talking about anymore,
No.
but people know.
I always picture Kayleigh McEnany.
Who the is that?
Like that. I think she was the press secretary, or like what's the other blonde bitch? Tommy Lauren.
Oh,
that's
God,
what I picture as the media, because I need like a conservative white woman to
really
make it
focus on why
I think people make it in movies like such an event, and we've talked about this specifically. Coming out such an event, there's streamers, like a rainbow cake that they cut into, this whole thing. But really, the first part of coming out is coming out to yourself. And I think that is really where those little small micro coming outs happen.
Oh yeah.
Like the first time I made a gay couple in The Sims, I was like, maybe
should
we're okay
I
with
go
this?
with that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They didn't have a ladder in their pool and I killed them, but
hate criming from a young age.
and then I realized that could be fine.
Which part of it?
That's for me to know and you to find out in my secret.
Okay, well, this was a doozy.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Content didn't start.
Content never started.
Yeah.
We do have like 20 questions. So 20. We literally have like 200 confessions, and I think we got to about.
I think it was 3.
We got to 3.
I think it was 3.
I was gonna say like 20.
You have no concept of anything.
No, I don't.
Nothing behind those eyes.
Okay. We're going to get to a lot more.
Yeah.
Next episode, we're going to get through them.
The content's going to start at
It's just going to
19 minutes.
It's just going to roll out. It's going to be amazing. All right. Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow, subscribe wherever you're listening or watching on YouTube. Please make sure to rate us 5 stars. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching. Send us to your friends. Share us on your wherever you share us. Billboards at your apartment building. Bulletin boards.
Yeah.
Billboards. A billboard would be nice.
A billboard would work. We would settle for the billboard.
I'll take it. And follow us on social media at I Can Explain Podcast and on TikTok at I Can Explain Podcast. Blowing up over there.
Get in before they cap our
we
followers.
might have to shut her down.
We might have to.
Because
the attention's, it's a lot.
The tension with Charlie D'Amelio is getting...
Well, because she's seeing the rise.
That's what I mean. She's like, they're coming for my ass. And we're like, we didn't even know it. Personally at Lusk, at Breanne Williamson. Until next time, we will see you around the neighborhood.
We f***ed that up.
No, we did.
No, in like a good way.
Okay, yeah. We f***ed it up.
My hands really clammy.
That was a lot.